Hello YouTube, Andy Cam reacts with more reactions for your viewing pleasure. For those that don't know who I am, I'm a Korean American that's followed Korean music since the late 80s to the early 2010s, and I'm playing catch up on a lot of Korean music. Although, if you're here on this video, it's because you're interested in band Maid and maybe not Korean music, and that's fine. When I say Korean music, it's primarily K-pop nowadays. But Bandmaid's a special exception in my channel because they are not K-pop, they are J-rock. And so far I've been really enjoying my time with Bandmaid, much more than I ever realized I would. I have boldly claimed that my last video of Bandmaid Blooming, that song specifically may have been one of the best, at least one of the best rock songs I've ever heard. I don't know if I could cross the line and say best song I've ever heard, but definitely it's one of the best rock songs I've ever heard. um, uh, it's a banger to say the least. So I'm ready to go on more of a journey with Bandmaid. Puzzle is next on my list. So just to preface my kind of trajectory with Bandmaid, I know I tend to do one video at a time because I like to listen to the song multiple times. Um, and I realize, that's gonna, if I do one Bandmaid video a week, you know, it's gonna take me over 2 years to get through Bandmaid's discography. So I'm gonna look for a way to expedite that. I might I'm not gonna restrict myself to one. I tend to like to do one song, especially if I like it a lot, right? So I'm not gonna say I won't do that, but I'm gonna try and put maybe multiple songs in a reaction just to kind of make some progress on their entire discography, because I want to get there eventually, amongst other things, right? Uh, there's, I know someone's given me like a great list of videos to check out for, you know, non-musical content such as guides to them or some interviews or talk show stuff. I think it was uh, that Bandmaid was participating in. So I want to get into all that as well, and I'll probably interject that between these music reactions to Bandmaid. But for now, if this is your first time tuning in to Bandmaid, I have reacted to thus far Domination, Dice, Freedom, Blooming. Um, I like all songs a lot, although I would say if I had to put them in order, it'd probably be Blooming, Domination, Freedom, Dice. The last two might fluctuate depending on my mood. Um, and so Puzzles next on my list, and there's not a lot of content. I know those uh I don't know if you like being called out, but I'm gonna call it you Cruise for now. Studio Coast Cruise, you were trying to help me get me a little jump start on where to go. Unfortunately, a lot of these the links you provided, they're no longer available. I was too late on pulling the trigger. I don't know. I'm guessing they got in trouble for keeping those videos online by other forces, so they had to probably pull it down. It's unfortunate. So I'm gonna be doing puzzle today. Start with the studio version, and then I'm gonna go to the official live version, and then probably check out some concerts, and then go from there. Um, I'm excited. Let's get going. Pardon this quick interruption, by the way. I've got something to announce of news from Jeju Island. Well, kind of. Specifically, it's Corel is currently adding an additional promotional set that showcases the partnership between Nacific and Stray Kids, and by extension, Corel and myself. The name of the set is Stray Kids in the Black Uyu set. This set includes a toner, ampoule, and facial cream, 8 double-sided Stray Kids photocards, which also includes a QR code for 2 exclusive videos with Stray Kids. As you can see here, Stray Kids in the black, and there's a QR code. Nacific Cross Stray Kids. This set helps to deliver nutrients directly to the skin with natural ingredients as they are by cold pressing extraction method. This product effectively helps to moisturize the skin and strengthen the skin barrier. For your information, that Uyu, the UYU, is actually the Korean word for milk, as this is a product that contains real milk extracted from the Jeju Islands, which is aka the Hawaii of Korea. And just to give you a sneak peek of the photo cards that come with this, well, I'm not going to show you everything obviously, but here's the Pangchan, here's the Mangne Ayan here. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to show you everything, but here's just a little slight preview of these beautiful gentlemen. So again, you get all this in the set, the Stray Kids in the Black and Uyu set. Once again, the name of this set is Stray Kids in the Black and Uyu set, which is in addition to the existing promotion that me and Koreal has partnered up on, which is the AHA BHA set, Fresh Herb skincare set, and the Origin kit set that has a variety of different sets you could choose from. After having tried the Fresh Herb set and now the Uyu set, I must say I'm really recommending, if you want to try some skincare products, I highly recommend this one from Nacific. And the bonus is you get some bonus content from Stray Kids, and you get to support them in Nacific. And then also by using my code CamReacts, you get to support me as well directly, and also Koreal, who's most gracious enough to partner with me. So, but anyways, with that said, thanks for watching, and back to what you're normally wanting to watch. Synths? Need more volume. Those synths actually really make a nice accent to the song. What's wrong with my audio? There goes Kanami. I'm gonna like this song. I know I'm gonna like this song. There's no hesitation. I'm gonna like it. Ooh, that's a goosebumps. Ooh. More goosebumps. What the heck? I like that touch with Miku in the background. It's like Kanami gets bored with one riff and she has to change it up all the time. I'll just put a solo in the middle of the song. Jeez. Build up the song with more. Or goosebumps. How are they so good? It's so tastefully, like, done. Kana is going off. Not off like crazy, just she's emphasizing the build up. It's a different tempo sound, but it's intense. It's just more intense. And then yeah, it slows it down, or I'm not sure if slow down is the right word. And then it speeds back up. The bass, I mean, not bass, the drums. Where were these girls my entire life? Or ladies, I should say, they're not girls. Like I guarantee you, if any preconceived notion that about female groups or bands, I should say, all female bands that I've had has been shattered by Bandmate. Because even I was limited exposure, um, but you know, female bands, they're either highly produced or in general, I mean, and or their music was for a less hardcore audience, maybe. I'm not sure what it was, but their musicality and technical skills were always not so evident from the songs that I've heard. And I can't even remember specific examples, but like I remember a group called like I think they were called TikTok. It was like a northern European group from like the early 2000s or late 90s or something like that. I just happened to be exposed to their music, and they were much more poppy rock, and they were much more like a lighter tone rock than any of bandmate stuff. But I thought they were catchy. They had like, but they're but you never would have said that bassist is great, that guitarist is great, just because the type of music they were playing didn't showcase any of that. Uh, and in Korea, a lot of bands, if they have female vocalists, their bandmates were male, right? So it's like I think it was just hard to see um, female you know, instrument players, guitarists, bassists, drummers, uh, make it to mainstream because I was, you know, I'm exposed to mainstream. I don't really seek out indie stuff, so that's already shutting off a lot of what could be out there I just didn't know about. Um, but and then the stereotype against them, against women in bands, is it was so like I felt like it was actually like filtering out any even like you know I'm pretty sure there have been plenty of women that could rock hard, right, and show technical prowess and skill. They just never made it to me. And I say this because you know when I first reacted to Bandmate, I was like, this is you know when I thought about I had a preconceived notion of what a female band might be because that's what I've heard this for. I know Rolling Quartz from in a Korean rock band. I've only listened to a couple other songs, so I'm still learning about them. But they have a very different sound to Bandmate as well, and I haven't. I'm still learning about them as well. I'm still learning about Bandmate. Um, but right off the bat, if you know I don't I only know a couple songs from Rolling Quartz, so I don't really want to make the comparison. Um, but you know they're the two rock groups I've been exposed to that are all female. By the way, Rolling Quartz also has 5 members, a vocalist, 2 guitarists, 1 bassist, and 1 drummer. But Bandmade, they don't hold anything back. I feel like every song has every ounce of creativity they want to put into it, and it's in there. I don't have enough exposure with Rolling Quartz to say that or otherwise, but the examples I've heard thus far, they play it fairly safe for the most part. But Bandmade, holy smokes, guys. Anyways, I don't even know what the conclusion of my saying that was. It's just that I'm always impressed by Bandmade, is what I'm saying basically. So here's the official live video. I'm really curious now because every time I've heard an official live video version of a song, I've liked more than the studio version. I think the guitars always sound a little more distorted, but their volume is higher. This is a big stage. Yeah, you couldn't hear this in the original studio version, or is it just intentionally different? I have no idea what Konami is doing there. And then you can hear the drums even clearer. This sounds like a really tiring song for Akane though. Saiki, I'm sorry. It's really weird seeing Akane like poker faced though. I really like this riff that Kana was playing here. I need more volume on my end. Song of longing. It's really emotional now that I see the live performance. Did I mention Psyche is really pretty? There's a smile. Maybe more claps than that for that performance. Jeez. Um. Well, let me back up and say, let me wrap up my earlier comment. No, let me wrap up my thoughts on this performance. Actually, I was not expecting it to be so. Because when I listened to the studio version earlier, I didn't know the lyrics, and I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics specifically, but just by the way they're emoting, the way their Psyche specifically showing her emotions and gesturing and facial expressions, and how everyone was pretty um, serious in their demeanor while playing their instruments in this one. Well, Misa's always looking serious, but Kanami, she likes to have a pretty big smile on certain songs. Actually every song I've heard or seen up to this point. In this song, there was no smiles. Um, and from Akane as well, who always seems to be the happiest person in the world playing drums. So there's definitely all members are on the same page when it comes to trying to portray the proper emotion to the song. And so since I didn't know what the song was talking about before in the studio version, I kind of get what they're going for and what the song's kind of trying to describe. Of course, I wasn't. I'm gonna watch this performance again, probably pay attention to the lyrics a little more, real quick. But it seems like a song of longing, like a missing puzzle, right? Um, Missing puzzle piece, I should say. So I just wasn't. It was a nice. I wasn't expecting the change in demeanor in performance style, but I really liked the change with the music, and that was great to see actually. With the meaning of the song, the emotions behind it, and how that changed the way they play, right? Because freedom, as you could see this from this or domination, I'm sorry. Uh, you can see there's Miku and Kanami, uh, playing in front of each other during their extended solo uh, pieces, right? So that was it's a very different way of performing. So that was fun actually to watch, and it was also it brought my emotions down to I think where it needed to be for the song, uh, in terms of trying to consume its meaning, trying to interpret its emotions behind it, which made the song a lot more powerful and impactful than when I kind of just listened to it without knowing what the song actually meant. But that's no way going to detract from how much I like the song. Before I listen to the song again, I want to wrap up what I was trying to get earlier, and I kind of failed to conclude. Basically, what I was getting at with the female um, comments about bands is, I think I may have at some point given them injustice in saying they're the best female band I've ever heard. At this point, and I think if it wasn't clear already from the other videos of reactions I've done to them thus far, they might be my favorite band of all time, just from the 4 songs I heard. And like I said before, I've listened to a lot of primarily 90s and early 2000s rock, but I have a lot of exposure to rock music in general, just from naturally listening to rock radio stations, primarily rock radio stations, from friends that listen to a lot more rock than I did, um, amongst other things, right? And I mentioned Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down are some of the names that pop up in my head whenever I think about bands that I really like, and would probably say they're my favorite rock. Two of my favorite, however many rock bands I can think of. Um, but bandmates made me reevaluate what I like about rock bands. Rage Against the Machine, for example, it's gonna be hard to top them in terms of just because of the breadth of knowledge I have of them and the nostalgia it brings to me. Um, but what I liked about Rage Against the Machine is they always, when I was a little more angsty, right, when I was more emotional than I am now, um, they talked a lot about issues, political issues, cultural issues, societal issues. Um, and that resonated with me. So their messaging was there that really resonated. Like that was like what I was into at the time as well. But in general, it was just their Tom Morello specifically. He's all about riffs. He's just riff god in my opinion. Um, and yeah, they didn't have a rhythm guitarist. They only had Tom as the lead guitarist, the only guitarist, and they had a bassist and a drummer. I always forget their names. I apologize. And then the vocalist. And it was such a rawness to their sound. System of a Down as well, but their vocalist was a lot more of a vocalist than Rage Against the Machine was, and they had some. They experimented with all kinds of sounds for the rock as they progressed. Right, Rage Against the Machine was a fast burning sun star rather, and it didn't last very long. But System of a Down had longevity as well. Another group that comes to mind is Godsmack. Another group that comes to mind is Smashing Pumpkins. Although I probably don't like. I like more. I like less. I don't like more songs than I do like songs from Smashing Pumpkins in general. But it starts to kind of dwindle already from there. So I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, what makes Bandmate potentially better than those people that I listened to and watched and revered for so long? And I was like, well, Rage Against the Machine, they had amazing riffs, but they never. It always sounded like the same riffs, basically first verse, chorus, even chorus, second verse. It those But basically, I think maybe it's age, um, but bandmates not only impressing me technically, um, but their music tends to strike a chord with me. Not to pun there, but it's what it's doing. It's it's resonating with me. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's just grabbing my attention. Bandmates grabbed my attention, and I'm going on a long monologue. I've only listened to the song twice now. It's only 25 minutes into the video. I apologize. Um, but I feel like I need to sort my thoughts on Bandmade, and it's a reaction channel. I'm reacting, but I also want to make sure I give you guys an honest take on what I'm feeling with Bandmade, because I've made some bold points in the past few days, and I want to justify it. Like I want them. I'm I'm This is the fifth song now, and I'm pretty darn close to declaring that they're the best band I've ever heard. Right? Like, and that's a bold statement. I've heard a lot. Um. Anyways, I want to listen to the song again. Maybe I'll pay attention to the lyrics a little more this time. Does it say where they were? Tokyo Garden Theater. I really like this riff. Is it unrequited love? It doesn't have to be love. Feels like love though. Oh. I think it's unrequited love. It's like what she's doing isn't technically amazing. It sounds amazing, and that's the difference. I mean, I can't play that anyway, but holy smokes, I need a haircut. Um, so I got the lyrics, and you know, historically, I'm pretty bad at interpreting lyrics at face value, but I think the lyrics written here, although poetic in its how it's portrayed, I think meaning is fairly straightforward in that, you know, one day you the puzzle was completed for her. She found, I'm saying she because Psyche is singing, right? But she found the person that completes her puzzle, and but this person apparently does not reciprocate that feeling, right? Perhaps sees her as a friend, for example, um, and the and knowing that, but not knowing the true answer because she's afraid to portray or approach, or broach, I should say, broach the topic. Um, but you know, she feels the signs, right? Like that embrace, the apologies, the embracing, and then the letting go and becoming strangers again. Um, like feeling like strangers again. Um, you know, she's obviously seeing the hints and the clues, but she's afraid to conclude by just straight up asking, right? But then, you know, but there's still reasons for them to interact, probably because they're friends, right? Um, This is the picture I'm drawing. And so as friends, you know, the small things he does, the way he looks, the way he smells, you know, it's in whatever. It doesn't have to be he. I'm just doing these he's, she's, right? Because it's the norm, the societal norm that I've been exposed to. Um, and she's falling for this person again, and then, uh, but you know, same thing. It's and the puzzle is falling apart, as what was one of the lines in the lyrics. And I'm guessing, since this is their official live video, the lyrics are fairly accurate. From the little bits and pieces of Japanese I do know, it seems pretty accurate as well. And yeah, I now that I paid attention to the lyrics a little more, the song isn't supposed to be some uh, all smiling while playing, right? It's not meant to be that. So that was actually really good. See and hear. I like that a lot, actually. I want to listen to like a less official version of this song now. Ba-bum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. There's a lot of reactions to Bandmaid's puzzle, but there's not a lot of Bandmaid puzzles. I saw one additional concert footage here from Locum in 2017. Volume's a little loud, I feel like. On my end, it's really not well balanced. This riff, though, is really tough. I feel like Psyche's putting a lot of emotion into this song, which is really amazing to see. I really like this verse. This riff. So I'm not a person that could play the guitar at any level close to Kanami, and at this point, not even as good as Miku. And also, I only play the acoustic guitar. So the comment earlier about this solo, specifically this part, like you could tell it's not. I think a lot of soloists, electric guitarists can play that part. But I wanted to compliment. I think Kanami has a great sense of what sounds good to a person and for the song. I think that's what it is that I'm trying to get at. And that's what I'm trying to get at, I should say. Now I want to listen to the studio version one more time. Actually, this is the first time where I really like the studio version as much as the live version. I think the distortion levels on this song sound way better. What is going on with the audio though? Every time I play the studio version, it's like really low. Yeah, the distortion level is really good. The audio balancing is pretty good. I think maybe the bass is a little low on the studio version. Or I'm just not paying attention really well to it. I'm not sure. The drums sound great. Really just like paying attention to this, what I'm hearing right now. I really like this second pre-chorus. And they psych sounds great on the studio version too. I could really hear the bass here though. And what they're doing with the drums here is very well done. So when I first heard the synths come in, I was kind of confused. Not confused necessarily, but I wasn't expecting the synths to start the song, right? But then you hardly even pay attention to the synth anymore as the time goes. I keep shaking the screen. I apologize. Let me talk to you guys about what I'm feeling with the song right now as I have the song kind of lowered in the background here. I don't think I don't. If it's not so obvious, this song is amazing. Actually, I like it a lot. It's weird because after Blooming, I talked about peaking. I talked about maybe this is the best song I've ever heard. This might be the best bandmate song that I'm gonna hear. You know, that kind of stuff, right? So I came in here with a lot of expectations for Puzzle because several people in my community, in the comment section and otherwise, have said very positive things about Puzzle, and even Cruz was saying this is a great follow-up to Blooming, and I was like, oh, is it though? Because you know, like I said, if you watch Blooming, my reaction to Blooming, you know how high I regard Blooming. This is an amazing song to follow up with Blooming, I agree. So there's like a little inner turmoil happening right now with me right now, and so now I'm kind of not intentionally, but I'm subconsciously comparing Blooming and this song together, just because that's what I kind of do. I'm not sure why, but I'm like comparing the two. Like, which one do I like more? So I need to listen to this. The second pre-chorus. I really like the riff on this second pre-chorus. I really like how much emotion I'm feeling from Psyche. Yeah, I like the song a lot. Can't stop the headbutt banging. I get one. Dude, it's got a mind of its own. I'm really curious now. I want to listen to Blooming right after that. Shit. I forgot how much I like the song until the chorus really just... Every time the chorus comes in on this song, God. God, I love this song. And this bridge coming up. One of the best bridges I've ever heard. Any song, any genre. And then the way the bridge builds up here. Oh, it's the perfect bridge. And then with Miku in the background. Oh, God. I feel like in this final kind of like outro, chorus outro thing they do is great. Is it odd for me to say that I feel like Blooming is like the... I don't know the chronological order between the two, but it looks like from 3 years ago, and I think Puzzle said 4 years ago, that Blooming came after Puzzle, but I feel like Blooming is Puzzle on steroids. I feel like it's I think elements of the guitar riffs in Puzzle are, and I'm just doing this because it's I like comparing things, right? The elements of Puzzle riffs in Puzzle, I like more than Blooming, but I think Blooming, in terms of the way the bass is put in, the way the drummer goes off, the way the song kind of melds together in that bridge and the melody of the chorus. There's different reasons I like Puzzle. There's different reasons I like Blooming, but I feel like Blooming is like the next progression to a song like Puzzle. I don't know what it is, why I feel that way, but there's some similarities in terms of song structure. Just just because it's not too uncommon of a song structure, but I don't really care about song structure so much. If it sounds great, it sounds great. because right now with the reason I decided to listen to Blooming and why I'm kind of do this weird comparison I'm doing at the end of the video is because I'm trying to see if I like Puzzle more than Blooming, and if Puzzle deserves my number one spot, or if Blooming should be there. Um, I think Blooming is still my number one, but Puzzle is like a is a very close number two. It's almost like a Blooming 1A, Puzzle 1B right now, but but I don't like doing 1A 1Bs. I think there should be a clear one usually, and then 2 3s. I think there could be a 2A and 2B and such, but a one should try and be a lone entity in a whatever kind of list. I think Blooming is um on my books more. I like it more at this exact moment, but Puzzle's not far behind that at all. Holy smokes. I'm gonna go back to the live version and just kind of wrap the video up now. Lower the volume a little bit. Yeah, I really like this riffing though. But anyways, let me get back to. Let me conclude this video by saying, I think Maid is my favorite band that I've heard at this point. 5 out of 5 bangers, but they're not just bangers. Like, I think Blooming is one of the best songs I've ever heard. I think Puzzle might also be one of the best songs I've ever heard. Like, that's how much I like this song right now. And it might be recency bias. If I listen to some of the old stuff that I listened like a long time ago from a rock perspective, you know, it's hard to say. And you know, it's really hard to remove nostalgia from older songs, right? So there's always that kind of that boosts older songs. But dude, just pure enjoyment. I'm actually attributing. Let me back up and say Dreamcatcher kindled the rock flame in me. Like, it started lighting it up a little. It's like a little ember, right? A tiny little flame. And then what ignited that, someone just poured gas on that. Now there's this giant burning sensation in me that just reminds me how much I like rock a lot. And I think Maid is just pouring fuel on this tiny little flame that Dreamcatcher kindled, because Dreamcatcher to me is still more pop than rock. But they add these little touches of rock that I really like. Because I like poppy rock. I like pop rock in terms of the way it sounds, right? The melody, Maid's got really catchy, like poppy rock melodies, which is part of the reason I think it's appealing to me so much. But Maid's making me remember why I liked Rise Against so much when they were like just coming out, I think. But times 100. They're reminding me why I like rock so much. They're actually really Dreamcatcher and Stray Kids. For those that don't know my channel very well in K-pop, Dreamcatcher and Stray Kids are K-pop groups. They are my favorite two groups from K-pop right now, and they've basically rekindled the light in me in terms of music. And for a while, for a good 5-10 years, that I lost track of my K-pop, the intro, right? I went pretty much musicless. Like, there was just no influence in me to look for music. I didn't have a community around me or family or friends around me that cared about music that I liked. So it was such a depressing state to be in, but I didn't realize it. I think my keyboard's running out of battery. I'm charging it right now. But it's through this channel that I discovered that I rediscovered my love for music, and it's largely in part thanks to Dreamcatcher and Stray Kids, and the Insomnias and the Stays, which are the fandoms for those respective groups, for those groups respectively, I should say. So they rekindled K-pop. Bandmaid's rekindling rock in me, because I went back and forth between K-pop and rock for a little bit in my life, and it's actually getting me a little emotional. I normally don't get emotional, and when I say emotional, I'm never gonna cry because I just don't cry. But it's got me feeling a little warm and fuzziness. It's got me feeling like this like weird enthusiasm, right? And that's what I mean by like making me feel emotional. It's God, Psyche's pretty. So yeah, it's just like first, thank you, Bandmaid. Second, thank you. I think it was Fazzy on my in my community. I think your name's Golian, right? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing or misremembering. But you just said, hey, yeah. I mean, um, if you want to check out Bandmaid, check out Start with Domination, and she put it on my Discord, and I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. It took like 2 months for me to get to it, and when I got to it, um, and here I am now with video 5, right, of Bandmaid reactions, and I'm so glad I started this channel. Music was basically dead to me, um, and I just kind of forgot how much I liked music and how much it meant to me and how much having a community around me, and now the Maniacs, because I know you guys are here, um, kind of having fun watching me discover Bandmate, right? Um, I'm pretty sure I've um, shooed away a few people that don't care for my format, which is listen to the song multiple times and have this long-winded reaction format, right? It's not for everyone. Not everyone has an hour to spend watching me. Uh, um, and but for those that are still interested in checking my bandmate journey, the Maniacs here, um, part of the reason Stray Kids and Insomnias are so, or I should say, part of the reason I'm a stay in Insomnia is because the community is so welcoming. It's so fun to interact with them. Um, and so far, Maniacs are apparently the same thing. You guys are warm, welcoming. It's also seems to be a very diverse group of people, willing to welcome this old. I say old. Obviously, I don't look that old, but I'm old Korean dude. So thank you is all I want to say. Uh, Thank you to you guys for showing interest in my reaction to Bandmade. Thank you, Bandmade, for making this amazing music. It's not just good music. It's freaking making me feel things. And I really wish I could see them in concert. I I'm not gonna be traveling for concerts anymore after my Dreamcatcher one. For those that don't follow my normal channel stream stuff, um, I do have a child. Uh, he's 3, um, and my wife is pregnant with number 2. And when she's born, she's going to take up a lot of my time, and I have a full-time job. So it's already a tough ask to ask for travel now. I don't want to put that on my wife to travel while she's pregnant. Dreamcatcher was an exception though, but I really hope Bandmate decides to come back to Seattle soon, because watching concerts in Seattle is definitely doable, which is where I'm the area that I'm from. But traveling is going to be a tough ask. Whew. 10 out of 10. Bandmate's puzzle is a 10 out of 10. Oh, if you haven't noticed. where were you? Where was band in my entire life? Obviously, they've been around for 10 years. I've said this about Dreamcatcher as well. Staircase is much more younger um, than Dreamcatcher is or was, right? In terms of debut and now Bandmate, especially with 10 years in the making here. But I felt this a little bit with Dreamcatcher was the where was I when they debuted. The reason I say that, and I'm happy to be here now, discovering them, but I wish I knew about them earlier to support them more earlier, because when these releases come out, those initial numbers mean a lot to them as a group for their success and their future. Um, so that's my frustration is I wish I could have supported them more than now over the years and also kind of had the journey with all the other maniacs. But better late than never. I'm here. I'm definitely a maniac. This is great. So that's what my frustration comes from. Is when I say I wish I knew them sooner is because I do. I do. I wish I could have supported them more as a fan. Whew. Come join Patreon. I have a Patreon. Currently, not a lot of exclusive Patreon stuff, but it's a great place to support me if you so want to. And also, it's a great place to cut in the queue, right? And make your reactions or requests heard and get kind of prioritized higher just by the nature of what Patreon is. Um, I also have a Discord. I would love to have more Mediacs in Discord. I converted um, one of my one of the most important members in my community in one of my live streams. I did a sneak peek of Blooming, and he was like, "Okay, they're pretty good." And I think he went down the pigeonhole um, since my last live stream, which is a week and a half ago now. And he's probably listened to basically their entire discography at this point. um, let's see here. So yeah, I would have love to have more Mediacs in the Discord server. So please join me and us. Well, we talk about music. We talk about a lot of general stuff. It's actually pretty bloated with Dreamcatcher fans. So if you like Bandmate and you like Dreamcatcher, then that's a great place for you to come by. Um, I also have Twitter and Instagram. Don't use them very much, but I do have them. Um, and just to give you the future projection, um, I still plan on doing Bandmate on a regular basis, but the regular basis will probably be on a weekly basis or so. Um, I kind of try to squeeze these reactions in during my regular days, right? As a person that has a full time job that takes about 50 hours a week of my time, um, it's hard to squeeze these in while trying to make sure I get plenty of sleep so I could take care of my child and also help out with the with all the housework and my wife who's pregnant and such. Um, so yeah, but slow but steady reactions to Bandmate is for sure happening because this is amazing. Um, yeah. Otherwise, please leave a comment where you want me to go next. What did you think about Puzzle? Did you like? Did any of what I said sound not right to you? Then please feel free to correct me. But I'm really curious what people think of Puzzle, and where Puzzle ranks in your in your spectrum of what top bandmate songs are and all that fun stuff. Also, comment down, like I said, where do you want to go next? Where you want me to go next with bandmate? Get your requests in. I know people have said Warning has been a pretty common one. I thought I saw Choose Me or something like that. If or was that not it? I think Play was on there or something like that. So there's a few songs that I'm just trying to grab from memory, but it's not really sticking. But you know, the more I see the song titles, the more it'll stick, right? So just keep your requests coming in. Happy to see them. Um, like, subscribe, helps the algorithms out and helps me understand you guys want to see more from me. So that's always appreciated. And finally, with that said, have a great day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next time. Bye.